We all like the idea of neck and shoulders. I'm hoping that's a cup of tea.
Sorry, it's peppermint tea.
Yeah, right. With a twist of.
I shouldn't have told you my secret.
No, it's fine. All right, so everyone, if you'd like to just get yourself sitting comfortably. So I'm sitting in what's called hero's pose, which is where I've got my knees bent back. Okay, and we're going to do a little sequence. So you can sit, if you want to go deer, you can go to deer, but you do the opposite deer from what you normally do. So deer is like this, okay? So I know some people have that as their default sitting position. It should be fine for what we're doing. I might do that because it works into the hips more. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to let the ear fall towards, so right ear towards right shoulder. And you're moving it backwards and forwards. So it's like you're saying no, shaking your head, but it's gone sideways. And then let your left arm just hang limply. In terms of being symmetrical, doing the hero's pose where you're sitting on a couple of blocks might be better. If you know your knees need strengthening, then I would do heroes because that's really good for the synovial fluid. Okay. And now we're going to just look down over that thigh. Take your hand onto the back of the head and you can get a nice stretch, with a strong stretch in the tendons. You're not tugging on the head yet, it's just gently stretching. Okay. And then do circles with the chin. Circles one way, and then circles the other. And I might ask you just to wobble your lower jaw as well, just to see whether there's any tension there. Okay. So if you feel quite strong, you tend to usually quite tight, and then release that, bring the head back up. If you're doing deer pose, swap sides. Okay. Now, this is a great pose for working out whether you're tight, which side you're tight in the hips. And now we're going to let the ear fall towards the left shoulder. Right hand's hanging, it's just dangling, it's not engaged, you want it to be heavy. And that will take the stretch into the shoulder. So you're just, like I say, it's just shaking your head, moving it backwards and forwards. And then draw some circles with the chin. Take the hand onto the back of the head, gently resting, you're not tugging, looking over the thigh. Draw the circles again. Circles one way, circles the other. And if you know you've had a particularly tense day, do have a go at just moving the jaw and releasing. The clenching in the jaw, and you'll feel it going into the neck. It can really help with getting a sense of how things are interrelated. And then bring the head back up. I'm going to drop the chin towards the sternum, and then we're going to draw our collarbone with our chin. So we're just going to go up to the side here, and then we'll place our hand on the cheek and just encourage the head around slightly, and then we'll come back down, same on the other side, okay? So, drop the forehead, or drop the whole head actually, and then drawing your collarbone and your chin, come up to the right. Take your right hand and place it on your left cheek, and encourage the head around. I would say take hold of your left shoulder with your left hand. Just keep the shoulder back so you're not turning. Okay? You're going to get a stretch in the cervical spine, which is the neck. Okay. And then draw the collarbone all the way across to the other side. And look over that shoulder. Take left hand onto right cheek. You may feel that and then bring the head back to centre. You might feel that creates quite a strong twist, just that last gentle turning. You're really getting quite a strong twist. And now I'm going to let the head just go from side to side, releasing the neck. And this might not be comfortable for you. If it's not, repeat doing the front of the collarbone. But otherwise, we're going to let the head drop back, or just gently go back and move from side to side. And you might get lots of popping sounds. It's a bit disconcerting, it's quite sort of bristly, and you're getting that sense from the inside. But it's really effective for releasing the neck. If you're particularly tight, just take the hands and go to the centre, so where the end of the spine, the cervical spine, is where it comes into contact with the skull, and just put a finger there and tilt the head back and wiggle your finger around, and you'll find that it's quite a tight place. A lot of nerves meet here. So just wiggle into that, feel it. It can feel quite satisfying. Quite like a tight spot, a sweet spot really tight. And if that's the case, just make a mental note to revisit that area sometime. Maybe when you wake up in the morning. Okay, so I'm going to go to deer pose on the other side. Been on that side quite a lot. Ask everyone to come into deer pose. Please get on some blocks if you know you're tightening the hips. Okay. So I've got my left knee coming forwards, and I've got my right leg going back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my right arm out to the side, and I'm going to bring my left arm up. So I'm creating a side stretch. Take the hand onto the back of the head, that can be quite nice. But I like to do this because then I can look up and I can take my elbow back, and I'm really getting the stretch in the side of the body rather than twist it forward. See how that feels, okay? And then come back up to centre. Take your left arm up in the air, just to get some length here in this side of the body, then bring it somewhere onto your right thigh. It can be, could be if you've got quite long arms, it can come to the knee, and then we'll twist in. You don't want any pain in your knee, okay? Try twisting the other way. So bring your right arm up in the air, take it across the body, reach behind, lengthen through the spine. So imagine I've got my hand on your head and you're pushing your head into my hand to get that length, and then twist. Might be that you don't go very far, but hopefully you're feeling some releasing happening in the hip area. The hips come back to centre. The hips, the glutes, there's this sacroiliac joint, it's here on the back of the spine. If you look at somebody's back, sometimes there'll be little dimples. And this is getting in there and creating a little bit of, it fuses, but it's just releasing that area. Okay, so we're going to swap sides. Just pause for a second and feel the difference. So if your sit bones aren't in contact with the floor, feel free to lift yourself up and then settle again. So you can feel, they might feel level, but you've got both buttocks feeling more level. Okay, if you feel like you're going to tip over to the side, feel free to put your hand on the floor. Otherwise, we're bringing our right arm up in the air, and then we're reaching across the body. Again, you can do hand on head if you like, or you can take the hand right across. Again, make sure nothing's happening with your knees, yeah? So I'm looking up and I'm taking that elbow back, which means the stretch is happening on the side, I'm not collapsing forward. So my spine's not doing the work, the side of my body is getting the big muscles, hip muscles are getting a nice stretch. And then come up. And we're going to do our seated twist. So left hand's coming up in the air to create length here. Left hand's going across the body. Right hand's reaching back behind. Lengthening through the spine and then turning. Not, using the hand slightly for a bit of traction. It's not a strong, it's gentle, yeah? Gentle stretch. And then back to centre. Take the right arm up in the air. Right arm across the body. Left hand's coming behind. Lengthen. And turn. And then back to centre. So we will lean back slightly. So I would suggest taking your hands behind you, lifting up. This gives a nice tilt in the pelvis. And then you may well stay in this position. Okay. Or you might as well go like this so you can see what I'm doing. So I put my hands behind me. I lifted the pelvis up. And I got a nice tilt of the pelvis. And then if you've got lots of cushions in your hands, you take advantage of that. You might want to stay like this and get a nice gentle back bend. Again, you want to make sure that there's no strain on the knees. You might be able to come back slightly. It all depends what you've been doing. So this feels comfortable. I'm not going to go to the floor because I think my knees would probably go up high. Oh, maybe I'll try it. So go to what's comfortable for you. Actually, that feels quite nice. So just stay in whichever position is right for you today. I mean, sometimes this one really isn't. This would be a nice sort of bolster behind you or a big pile of cushions. Okay, take some breaths. If you're upright, that's absolutely fine. If you're lying back, you can put your hands on your belly to connect to the breath. I'd like you to inhale through the nose, stop, and then inhale again through the nose. So it's like you're taking 2 sips of the air, and then release through the mouth. And we're going to do that again. Inhale through the nose. Inhale again. Just holding the breath for a tiny amount of time, unless that feels uncomfortable, and then release. If that felt uncomfortable, don't hold the breath until we just release straight away. And then we're coming up. It's far too comfortable. It's easy to get out of there. Swap sides. See how you feel. And repeat whatever you did on the last side on this side. The first one is like lifting up. This is a great stretch in itself. Hip flexors at the front. Very good after some running if you want to do that move. And then easing back, going so quickly you come onto your elbows. Or it could be that you go down towards the floor. Whatever. Yeah, whatever feels good. No, we haven't warmed the legs up particularly, so do go easily and make sure the knees come to the ground. Wiggle your shoulders if you have come back and draw the shoulder blades towards each other. Create some space between the neck, the shoulders and ears, and look straight up, please. Saying that, do check that you're not cranking the neck. So draw the chin, there you're looking up, draw the chin in towards the throat, just to release the neck. If your chin is higher than your forehead, you're compressing the cervical spine, the neck. And same thing, inhaling through the nose once, and then again. If it's comfortable, hold for a couple of seconds. Otherwise, just release immediately, blowing out if you're blowing through a straw. a slight change. And then again, inhaling through the nose once. And then again. And then exhale through the straw. And before we come out of pose, I'd like you to draw the belly muscles in and up. And the pelvic floor in and up. And feel, when you're in this position, you can really feel how many muscles are involved in that process and how deep, what it does to the pelvis. Okay, and then coming up, I'm going to roll onto my side to come up. I think that's easiest. Okay, good. So we're going to do a forward stretch. Tightness, so the left knee is in again, is bent, left foot is against right thigh. Activate, make the knees pointing up, toes pointing up. Turn towards that leg, hands come up in the air. Exhale, leading with the chest, coming forwards. You might get hold of the foot. Really need a hingle there. What you want is this leading with the chest. So I would say everyone ease off and get that leading with the chest, because I'll show you it sideways. You're coming forward with the chest. There's a very different thing that happens with the back. If you're trying to get to the feet, you create a different position. We want to keep some length in the spine. We want to keep some length here. Think about getting the other knee towards the floor. I'm going to open up the hips, hip flexors, and then slowly come back up and swap sides. If your knee's off the ground like mine is, I would advise having some support there. So it could be a cushion, or you could do something nice with the blocks, just to support it. Okay, that's to do with tightness in the hips. You don't want the knees to take the strain. The same thing, so you're looking towards the toes, and take the arms in the air to get some length. Leaning forwards, leading with the chest. If you really want to get hold of the toes, then feel free to. Slow, steady breaths. And now come up. So now we're going to take the knees the other way. I'm definitely going to set my block for this. So actually, before we do that, we're going to just rotate and release the back and loosen the hips with a slightly different range of movement. And then change and rotate the other way. So, this pose, I'm going to put a block under one buttock. You can use pillows, whatever's to hand, really. So, you're going to take your right leg back first. The right leg comes back behind you. This is a Shavasana pose. I'm going to lean over to the side. I'm going to ease the calf muscle out to the side to create a bit more space. And then I'm going to get my block and I'm going to place it underneath my left buttock, okay? So if you, I can see that I'm tilted, I can feel I'm tilted. So Viviana, I want you to pay particular attention to your toes. You want your toes pointing straight back, so I'll show you this sideways. You want the toes pointing straight back. You do not want the feet out to the side like that. That's really not good for the ankle and the knee, okay? So if you need to get height to get the foot going back, please do. I'm going to put this under my buttock because I can feel with the extended leg that I'm tilted to the side. So this again, it's just to do with tight hips. Just accepting. And that will allow me to sit more upright. So I'm adjusting for being able to then come forwards. So it's a similar thing. Arms are going to come in the air. Everyone okay? And then exhale, folding forwards. Hands are possibly coming to the floor. Doesn't matter if they don't. They can come to the leg. Leading with the sternum. You want to, you can get hold of toes. You might remember in class that I'll come and I'll put a bit of pressure. It's quite a nice release because you're lengthening the back. You can't do the toes in this one because you're not rounding in the same way. Slow, steady breaths. No discomfort in the knees, okay? And then inhale, lengthen, exhale, release. Same again on the other side, yeah? So taking the foot back, left foot back, rolling out the calf, checking that the toes are going back. Most important bit, actually teaching instruction in this. And then if you can see, I'm sort of tilting to starboard, or I don't know what side it is, but I definitely need my knees not pointing up. I mean, they are, but my sit bones feel really uneven. And I would rather raise myself up and have a sense of going forwards in a more balanced way, okay? How are you all doing? You all right? Have you got enough support? Yeah? Good. Okay. Do check your toes. If it's not working, you can repeat Janusasana, yeah? The one we did before. Okay. And same thing, arms are coming up, getting my length. Exhale, coming forwards. Slow, steady breaths. And then inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. So I'm going to make feet into a big wide diamond. So just adjust so that my sit bones are more in contact with the floor. And then exhale, folding forwards. If you've got a block, you can use that. Possibly. That's another option. Think about where you right overhand. So this is good for getting into the outside of the leg and also releasing the lower back. And then inhale, come up. Cross the legs. And rotate. And change direction, please. Then take the hands behind you. Take the legs out in front. Two options. The first one would be to be table. Yeah, and you can look down the body or let the head fall back. And the second, you have to really open at the shoulders. If you've got tight shoulders, you may find the feet don't come to the floor. So the second option would be where you inhale up and take feet to the floor and take the head back. So I'm going to go with tabletop today. So choosing your option, we're up for 5 breaths on an inhale. Up you go. Slow, steady breaths. And then release. Come down. with the foot against the thigh, and it's this side twist, okay? Where you bring the hand down against the leg, or you might have long arms and be able to get the forearm underneath the calf, or you might think that's just never going to happen. Anyway, whatever you're going with, you're going to be pushing against it. It might be that you are higher up and there's just a gentle bit of contact between the two. Some contact will be really good. Knee pointing up, toes pointing up. And this is a deep twist. The hand's coming onto the side of the head, and you inhale, look to the elbow. Inhale 3 times, each time trying to take the elbow back a bit more. Inhale. So you're sending the breath to the left ribs, which are pointing skyward. And then for the final one, you take the arm in the direction of the extended leg. Yeah? Keep looking up, keep making it a side twist. So you're not turning down. Okay, and then come up, arm comes up first. How does that feel? All right? Yeah? Same again on the other side. And come in. And when you're ready, look to the elbow, inhale. Inhale, creating space with the breath. On the right hand side of the body now, right ribs. Keep the right knee moving in the direction of the floor. So you're really opening up the whole of this side of the body. And now hand comes across in the direction of the left toes. And release. So we're going to release the back. We're going to just come onto our back and do windscreen wipers, okay? Has everyone got a belt? Do you all have a belt? We're going to do some hip openers as well. Do you have a belt, a pair of socks? Anything you can grab? Yeah, jumper, that's great. Even a jumper would be great. Doesn't have to be a belt, okay? So coming back onto our back. First thing we're going to do is just let the knees fall together and feel the broadness that creates in the sacrum. Okay. And then we did this last week, but I think it's worth doing again. It's just a very gentle articulation and opening up of the lower back. So you tilt. So if we're all doing an exaggerated version where you're peeling your bottom off the floor and you're getting that pelvic tilt happening. So doing that. And then releasing back down to the floor and tilting the pelvis the other way. So you're getting this sort of movement going on. Okay, so inhale. Tilts, bottom lifts just a little bit off the floor, and then exhale, pushing the coccyx into the floor and getting a bit of an arch. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. I'm thinking exhale on the tilt up actually, and then inhale. Now we're going to do that passively. So you're going to imagine that you're moving your feet. So you're not going to take the bottom off the floor. And you're going to imagine that you are pushing your toes away, but they're not moving on the floor. The muscles will engage in the legs and you'll get a tilt as if you were coming up. So you get that pelvic tilt. And then again, the legs, the feet don't move, but imagine you're bringing your toes towards you. And you'll get a subtle tilt going the other way. So this is really passive. And do that 3 times. Exhale. My feet actually moved. Imagine you're pushing your toes away. And you can feel the lower back really pressing into the floor. And then inhaling, pulling your heels towards your bum. And getting a little, it's like a little wave happening in the spine. Push, last time, pushing the toes up. It can take a bit of getting used to it, so don't feel It's something to revisit if you're not finding this is coming at the moment. And then last time, pulling the toes towards you, heels towards bum, and there's a little arch that happens in the lower back. Right, okay. Now take the feet wide, let the knees come together and feel the way the whole of that area releases. And then we're going to stay with the feet wide, even wider. And we're going to do windscreen wipers. So both knees go to one side, completely up to you which side. Do cactus arms. And then both come to the other side. Moving slowly. Try using your oblique muscles to pull, so that's the muscles on the side, to pull the knees up. See how that feels. So this is opening up all of the spine, and it's also working to the hips. Going very slowly. Or you can go, if you want to make it a more fluid, slightly faster pace, then go with what feels right for your body today. For me, it's reminiscent of the stretch when I get up in the morning and I don't have to loop up, so like a weekend stretch, but you're not getting up because of the arms gone. Okay, last one. So end on the opposite side from which you started. So that tends to be if you're right-handed, you'll probably start on the right. Your left-handed, you'll probably start on the left. So end with the opposite side. And then belt at the ready. So we've done this before a lot in class. First thing we're going to do is we're going to draw the right knee into the chest and push the left heel away. Pull the shoulders back. Pulling the knee in. And then this is where the belt comes in. You should also get your belt. Hook it around the toes. Oh. And then pull the toes towards you, and you'll get a lovely stretch. And then on the calf. Check, wiggle your shoulder blades towards each other. Check that you're not tightening up in the upper body. So I've got my arms, my upper arm is in contact with the floor. So make sure you're not putting your arms up really high. And then take the belt in the same hand as the raised leg. Take your other hand onto your hip, keep your hip down. So I want my right leg's gone out the side, I want my left shoulder and my left hip to stay on the floor. So that's really important. You don't want to be going over. You want to have those on the floor. Push into the heel again of the right foot. Maybe try pulling on the strap as well, so you've got a bit of traction happening. And then bring the leg back up into the air. Take it across the body, just a little bit across. So I've swapped the belt, I've now got the belt, I'm holding the belt on my left hand. And then turn your toes in the direction of the floor. So you're just turning the foot. I don't have a lot of movement there, but if you turn the toes as if you were aiming to put them at the floor, and you get a nice stretch on the outside of the calf. Okay, that's great. And then, staying with the belt in our hands, take the foot right across the body to the floor. Don't worry about the spine coming up. Take your right hand in the direction of the floor, right shoulder possibly in the direction of the floor. And then last of all, turn the head to look at the right fingers. And as you turn the head, maybe just turn the head back. Just turn the head once more. Feel what that does to the shoulders and the back. Just turning the cervical spine. can give a really good indicator of what having your head slightly forward, jutting forwards, or slightly jutting back, what effect that can have on other parts of the body. Okay, and then bring the leg back up and release that side. The right leg might feel a bit heavier now, so just waiting for a second, just absorbing that. I'm just rearranging my shoulders as well, keeping this broadness across the chest. And same again on the other side. So drawing the left knee into the chest, squeezing it in as you exhale, push into the extended leg, heel of the extended leg. As you draw the knee in, think about the lower back being in contact with the floor. You sort of decrease the lumbar curve a little bit. That's fine. Okay. And now we're going to hook the foot. Go for a straight leg. So if that means lower, that's absolutely fine. You want to have the knee straight, you don't want it bent, and push into the heel. Toes towards you. Think about pulling your little toe towards you. What does that do to the muscles in the leg? What do you feel happening? Okay. And then take the belt in. So I've got left leg in here, so the belt's going to go into my left hand. I'm taking that to the side, and I'm keeping my right shoulder down and my right hip down. So I'm putting my hand on the hip. Push into the heel of the left foot. Feel what that does to the hip flexors, hip itself. And then bring the leg up. Point the toes, so the leg comes just across the midline, so just past your belly button. Swap the belt into the other hand, and then think about tilting toes towards the floor. Get a stretch on the outside of the calf. And last position, keeping the belt in the right hand to take the left foot right across the body. And then you'll look over your left, towards your left fingers. Okay. So now we're going to draw our knees. We haven't quite finished with the hips. We're going to draw our knees into the chest and draw circles with our knees. Okay. So first of all, I want you to curl the lower back off the floor. So you're really bringing your knees into the chest. And then I would like you to try that now, keeping the lower back on the floor, all the way down to the tailbone. And you'll find that you're not able to bring the knees in as far. That's absolutely fine. So by isolating the hip flexors, stretching that slightly differently, okay? And then change direction. So to begin with, let the bottom come up off the floor and the knees come in really close to the torso. And feel the space you're creating there between the vertebrae in the lower back. And then keep the lower back in contact with the floor, and it's more in the hips and the hip flexors. Brilliant. Okay, now we're going to come into reclining butterfly. So feet have come together, knees have come out to the side, hands can come into cactus arms. Again, adjust your shoulder blades. You might want to put something under the knees. So it's all been very gentle, and I'm aware that we're coming close to the end of the class, but I am going to ask us just to do one pose that might be slightly more challenging. So we're going to come over onto our side, and we're going to go into, so as we go on forward, we're going to come into half movement, okay? So we're going to take one foot back. Probably better to get into from downward dog actually. Sorry, Steph, I know you downward dog. So turning onto your side, one foot comes on top of the other, arm comes up in the air, lifting the hips high, and then take the hands underneath the body, and then up again, and then once more underneath the body, and then up, hips up, hips up, hips up. Well done. Then come over into downward dog, and do the same on the other side. Okay? So I'll change direction so I can see you. So downward dog, come onto the side, and comes up in the air. Couple of breaths here, and then hand comes under, back up. Does feel a bit brutal after such a gentle class, but never mind. Under once more, back up, and then into downward dog. Okay. And then from downward dog, come onto all fours. Do a cat-cow. And then from here, we're going to come into mountain heart. So you can do that with one arm in and forehead comes down to the arm. You want the feet to be, the knees to be lined up with the hips. And then you relax the upper body. A deeper version of this would be both hands out in front of you, and then you bring the chin and the upper body down. If you're not getting much sensation, take the bottom back slowly. And if you've gone with one arm in front, please swap arms now. Okay, and then slide forwards, coming into Sphinx. And we're going to do both, we're going to do one back bend. We're going to Shavasana. So reaching back, get hold of the feet. Okay. And then ankles really ideally. Think about keeping the feet and the knees going in. And inhale, lift up. You're looking towards the end of your mat. So you're not cranking the neck and looking at the wall. Kick the legs back. And release for a minute. Bring the hands in front of the face. And rest the forehead down, wiggle your bottom. And then we're going to do that once more. Reaching back. Inhale. Come up. Kick, kick, kick with the legs. Do keep the knees going towards each other though, and the upper leg as well, so the lower leg. And release. Wiggle your bum. Take left arm out to the side. And then pushing with your right arm, you're going to bring your right foot over. Can go towards the floor, doesn't have to go to the floor. The main stretch is happening in the pectoral muscles at the front here and the shoulder. And then release and do the other side. Because of the work we've done on the hips, you may find that your foot goes back further to there. Oops. We'll adjust the knuckles. Sorry, it's not over yet. Release that flat. We're going to do one last pose, which is going to bring some of these movements together. Okay. So I'm coming onto my knees, and I'm going to take my right leg out to the side. Right hand's coming down the right leg, and my left arm's come up and over the head. Okay. And then you might want to watch. So what we do is we swoop back and reach in the direction of the heel. You don't have to get to the heel. So you come, gone over to the side, toes pointing forward, and then swoop. Okay, and the hand may or may not come. If it doesn't get to, if your hand doesn't get to the heel, that's absolutely fine. Just bring it onto the back, support the back. But you're getting this opening. So we've been working on the hips side of the body. So it's getting all of that together. Coming back, moving on the breath. And then around, like I say, it can be supporting the back, opening up the chest, looking up, arms swooping over the head, and then back. And moving on the breath. So it's quite a flowing movement. Well done. One last time on the side. And then swap sides to do the other side. Yeah. So the extended leg, the foot is pointing forwards, that's quite important. So exhale, hand comes down the leg, other arm comes over the head. And then arms come, I like to explain that. They sort of scissor past each other and you're reaching back. So it's putting together the stuff we've been doing in the class. Exhale, swooping back. Inhale, coming across. Take 2 breaths this time with each one. 2 breaths on the side, making it slower. And then 2 breaths on the back. And now we've got to go to Shavasana. So coming to lie on your back, yeah? Thank you very much, everybody. If you want to keep, we've done quite a lot on the lower back, so you may well feel that it'd be nice to keep the feet on the floor And this is just a gentle on the lower back. If you've got some pillows, you could put them under the knees. If you're near a sofa, you could put your feet up on the sofa like this. All of this is really nice. So this one's good because it will lower your heart rate as well, because your knees are higher than your heart. Yeah, but all of these are good. And then I'm wiggling my shoulder blades. Palms are facing up. I'd like everyone to just lift their head, look towards their toes or their knees, feel how heavy the head is, and then let it go. Clench your fists, tighten up the whole of the arms, and then let that go. Squeeze your buttocks, tight, 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 and then let that go as well. And then finally, toes, curling the toes in, tighten the legs, and release. And last of all, scrunching up the whole of the whole of the face. So, clenching your teeth, squeezing your eyes, eyelids together. And then again, release. And bring your attention, please, to the breath. You're not trying to control the breath, but just becoming aware of the breath coming into the body. And as you inhale, just repeat after me. Breathing in, I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I'm breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be well. At ease, may I be well. Breathing in, I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I'm breathing out. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be well. And then bring someone to mind that you care about deeply, who you feel may need some support. It doesn't have to be a person that you know. It can be somebody who you think must be emblematic of something. And then same message to them. So breathing in, I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I'm breathing out. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be well. And then extend that to the whole of the group. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be well. And then take that beyond the confines of your room, out into the streets where you live, and extend that to everyone around you. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be well. And you can stay with your streets, or you can extend that to all sentient beings. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be well. And then very slowly, bring a little bit of movement back into the body. Can be rubbing thumb against fingertips, moving the head from side to side. come over onto, whichever side you prefer. Now you're at home, so you can stay here if you want for as long as you are able. And you can rest in the sense of, well, it's beyond words really. So feel free to stay there, marinating in this stretched self, or slowly come to sitting, whichever works for you. Taking as much time as you need, and the longer you can stay in Shavasana really is the better. It's the most important pose of all. Okay, so thank you for sharing your practice with me. Thank you for practicing with me. May you be
Yes,
pleased.
please.
May you be well. Thank you. Have a good evening, everyone.
Liz, is this the last